I'm working on my Goat Whisperers cabled fingerless gloves, and it's time to switch needles. So normally when you're knitting and you're not switching needles, I'm using the magic loop method here, you would pull out this needle and start knitting the next stitch. But we want to switch needles, so I'm going to drop that needle, and instead I'm going to pick up my new needle that I want to change to, and I'm going to start knitting. Now this pattern starts with a purl in the round, so the first stitch is a purl. And I'm going to work down this side of the work until I get to the point where I have to move the stitches around the cord because I'm using the magic loop method. And this is just knitting like normal. It just happens to be I've got the new needle in my hand, and the needle that I ordinarily or that I was using is just down there dangling. In knitting two at a time, when you're changing needles, you get to this point where you've knit down the first half of the first item, and now it's time to go on to the first half of the second item. So with the new needle, you grab a hold of your working yarn like normal, and just continuing on with this new needle, you work down the first half of the second item. So here I am halfway around. I've got the first half of my knitting done. There's my beginning of the round marker. I've got half the stitches on my brown needle, half the stitches on my silver needle. To continue on, I'm going to turn, I'm going to pull my new needle out to have slack on it, just like you would if we were working on the same needle as the one we're knitting off of, and I'm going to continue in pattern. I've just finished knitting the whole entire second mitt here, and I'm getting ready to start the last half of the round on my first knit with my new needle. So I've got my new needle in my right hand, my old needle in my left hand, and I'm going to continue knitting this round. Knitting the last stitch of the round, freeze your old needle and finishes the transfer of the stitches onto your new needle. So now all of the stitches are on my new needle.